mug of your favorite beverage, like I do sitting right before me. And before I start today's episode, I will let you know that today's episode is brought to you by Beer in the Throat. Tasty. Today's episode is brought to you again also by Beer in the Throat. I am the Juice Man. Pull up a seat. We got a new subject to talk to you about, something I've been thinking about the last couple of days. And as on the screen right now is the demo for Toukiden 2. And I have been playing it, but I wanted to start something new to show you some of the new aspects to the creative player that's in the game. But today's episode 23 is called $60 Incomplete. See, lately, there's my good friend Pamela. How you doing, Pamela? Thanks for tuning in and joining the show. What's up to you? Just let you know that I did get a ride home today. It was really nice. That's why I'm here now instead of later. And to be honest with you, see, that's what America's about, my friends. It's about a juice man in a gaming roundtable. Where are we? Anyway, so the deal is, what's really cool is the subject is kind of near and dear to all of us gamers. And even though we may not think about it sometimes, but lately the situation is with this generation of gaming, especially with the PS4, Xbox One, which our systems are now basically computers. But you know what is bothersome is when game companies out there decide, and I know this is going to sound like a little bit of a rant, but game companies out there decide to put out a game for $59.99. If you live in my neck of the woods, that's $63.59. That's with tax. And you oftentimes, especially if you're game companies like Ubisoft, which make games and publish them, or EA, which primarily publishes games, even Bungie did it, and other game companies out there, where they want to give us a title that costs $63.59 plus tax. Capcom, I'm looking at you with your stupid Street Fighter V. Yeah, that V symbol means more like up yours, you know. So, and the problem is that you get this $60 price tag, and down the road, you'll install the game or whatever, and it might be like 10 gigs, could be 15 gigs. Then, 6 months down the road, maybe even a year later, you put out some massive update, kind of like Bungie did, and it's twice the size of your original game, because now you feel like you want to give us the complete game that you should have gave us at launch. I touched base a little bit on Battlefront yesterday when I was playing, and, excuse me, a little beer in the throat. And, we, as gamers, just will accept this, even though we complain about it, we make YouTube videos about it, we talk about it, but we accept it, though. See, now, would you ever go to a car lot and buy a car, and you spend, let's say the car costs 10 grand, and you're like, hey, where's the tires at? Oh, the tires are coming. It's just be maybe a few months down the road, but you'll get them eventually, right? Because we'll give you the complete package. You would be like, hell no, I'm not buying this. But you see, that doesn't work in the real world. It only seems that they get away with it in the gaming world. And we as gamers just somehow always seem to complain and about this, and yet we continue to buy and support the games because we're gamers, right? So it's kind of a strange catch-22 in my opinion. Thank you ever so much, DICE and EA, for your incomplete Star Wars Battlefront. But, a year later, now it's all peachy glory, here's your game. But you did still have to pay some DLC prices and all that. Which brings me to Ubisoft doing the same thing with a buttload of their titles. Look at $60, $63.59 for Wildlands. Wildlands is not that great of a game, honestly. It looks cool. The gunplay's nice, but it's very repetitive. The world's kind of lifeless. But I bet you a year from now, with some of the free updates and stuff, which will probably be larger than the actual game itself, we'll get the game that should have came out in the first fucking place. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. These companies, to me, seem to me that they've just gone just too far. We're too far, man. We're too fucking far. And that's what drives me nuts. It's like, we just accept this shit, right? So I'm going to do a little bit of this here. And this is a company that made this, Omega Force. You know, Omega Force doesn't do this shit. You pay $60 for the game, you get everything that game has to offer. You will get little snippets of DLC like costumes and little things that are very cheap. You might get an update, but that update's only a few hundred megabytes, if not even a gig, on almost everything they put out. That's what makes a Megaforce a Megaforce. They give us a complete and total package. They don't try to give us some game that comes out and we don't have anything. Mafia 3 is a good example of this. Yes, there is a little bit of DLC in it, but it's a complete fucking game, ladies and gentlemen. It's complete. Even GTA 5 was very complete, even though they have added a lot of stuff and there's massive updates for it. It still was, generally speaking, a complete package, online and offline with the story mode. Complete. Didn't have to pay $60 for like Star Wars Battlefront, Ubisoft's From Honor, which is incomplete. I know I harp on Ubisoft a lot, but Capcom Street Fighter 5. You put out an arcade fighter with no fucking arcade mode? Oh, we're going to add all this shit later. Well, fuck you. That's an incomplete $60, and you're missing the story modes. You're missing all this crap. And we expect to swallow that? No. But a lot of us did. I didn't buy it. You know why? Because it was Capcom. Capcom has consistently in the last 3, 4, 5 years shown that they are worthless as a company. The only thing they make good right now, the only thing is Monster Hunter. The only game that they give you a complete and total everything with. But for the most part, garbage, right? Anyway, I digress. Let's show you a little bit of the creative player for Toukiden 2 Monster Hunter game. This is the demo. I downloaded it yesterday. I will be able to carry this character I make into the actual full game, so I won't lose any of my progress, just like the first Toukiden demo. Lets you do the same thing, which is pretty badass. You do have gender, which male and female always. One of the things that's nice about this game is, especially in the face, you actually have sliders now that allows you to create, like most roleplay games, lets you slide the nose and do different things with the eyes, the nose, make it thin, make it thick, whatever you want to do, giving you your character much more stuff, which is really nice. Here's your profile, which is your different face types. There's 3 to work with, but then you work with it. I can make my character really old looking, change the skin color around. Let's say I want to darken it, lighten it up. It's kind of nice. If I want to make them dark, make them really like pale, it's kind of cool that I can do that. They did a really good job with that. If I got to find that nice tan tone, if I want to, I can make his face more thin, more hefty. See, I can widen it out. Again, this is a really nice, solid touch to the game, because the first game had really cool faces, but you couldn't do any of that. But it was based off a PS Vita title. You're right about that, Pamela. Very nice. And it allows you to do all this really cool stuff. I can thin out the chin. I can do this and that. Make it wide. I can thin it up a little bit. Make the chin length. I can say, well, that seems a little long, so let's shorten it a hair. I can change the chin position, jaw width. So if I want to bring it more in, and it's pretty nice. Or I can bring it more out to give it more of a full jaw, which is kind of cool. I can change the jaw height. Again, this is stuff that you normally see in games like Skyrim and roleplay games of that kind of caliber. And the depth of that as well, I can confirm that. You can change the eyebrow type, which is kind of cool. And now you're able to you can bring it down to give them that more scowling face, or bring it back up to give them a more sympathetic face. So that's a really nice touch to allow you to give you that customization that it's just a nice touch, and I like that aspect. Eyes wise, there's many different types, including color. You can do all this color type now, give them that kind of color you want. In some ways, the creative player reminds me a little bit of Soul Calibur 5s, where you can adjust a lot of different things. I can adjust his eye size. I can make him small if I want. I can make him ridiculously oversized if you want to do that route, which is kind of cool. I can do the eyelids even. I can narrow them so they're more closed, or I can make them really wide-eyed and psycho looking. Like, get the crack! And so that's pretty cool. So narrow them a little bit here. Let's make them size a little bit smaller. I'm going to narrow the width a little bit, bring them in. You can change the pupil height, make them up and down. The pupil spacing. I mean, they really went... The angle is really nice, so if I want to make it more oriental looking, bring it back down to more European kind of look, do confirm there. Change the nose around. There are different types of noses, and you still can use sliders to adjust that out. You could probably just start with the default if you wanted to. Let's make the size a little, like maybe let's do that. You could make it a little bit, like adjust it down if you want. Again, they just did this really cool thing with the game that allows you to create what kind of height you want. You can even make it a little longer nose. You can make it more angled up or more down if you like that. That's about right there. Mouth wise, again, same thing. There are different types of mouths to give your character. I can actually increase the size a little bit, drop the thickness, give them more thin lips. You can change it. You can even make them smile, which is really cool, or frown, which I think is a cool... Again, this is something that you normally see in roleplay. This has a lot of roleplay elements, but it is at its core a Monster Hunter style game. But it's very cool that they are giving us, this. There's many different hairstyles to choose from, and that's like variations with the triangle there, which is really cool. There's many different ones to choose from, and I like that aspect. Like, that's parted to left or right. There's more hairs. There's all the hairs returned from the first game, but there's more hairs now than there was. They've added a bunch. Some of these are actually you'll be familiar with if you play Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, which I own. They took a lot of the cues from that, and I dig that. I like the fact that they give you these hairstyles that are featured in another game. I think that's great. I think I really enjoy that aspect. And I really am happy that they did do that. Let's go in here to face, because I don't want to make them too young, but I want to put a little just a hair of age on them to make him look a little bit older. I am going to make his skin a little bit darker. Not completely, but bring it up, and just to give him a little bit of age on him. He still looks young with a little age, and whatnot. There are accessories. You do have mustaches and beards and a variety of things. And again, a lot of these are taking. Yeah, you don't want to do the Hitler. A lot of these are taken from Dynasty Warriors 8 Empire's creative player. I like the fact that Omega Force did this with this game, and again. This game's a complete package, and that's just how it is, At some point, I'll probably will grow my hair out and look just like that. I think that would be badass, and that'd be pretty cool to do. You can change their physique, too. You can actually make them really tall, which is nice, or you can make them shorter. It's nice that they give you that option. You can actually make them more bulkier or more thin. I'm going to give him kind of a sort of a bulky. You could actually give him like even longer, just long legs if you want, which is kind of neat. Or you can give him just short legs, so he's more squatty. Again, I like the aspects to the game. I love the creative player. But here's the thing, though. Like I was saying, this is what I'm saying about games in general. These companies keep giving us these $60 damn games. And they're incomplete. They're absolutely 100% not ready. Like, I don't know if it's a budget thing. They run out of time. There's something like that. I'm not sure what happens. I just know that when you go about, when you stop and think about it, it's like, why would they give us just this terrible, I don't know, why give us a game if it's not going to be complete? Why would you do that? To me, I just feel like that is absolutely, just terrible. Like, why? I mean, you're making us pay for this game, and yet you're not really you're going to supply us with, I don't know. It just bothers me. It's like why do they get away with it? How do they get away with it? And I think that it's wrong, and I really wish that they had I wish they really had, just a different kind of, just a different kind of approach. Like, we deserve that. You keep giving us these damn games, and they're like, they're just not where they need to be. And I think, sadly, that we keep continuously falling for this crap over and over again, and I don't know why we do. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I can't really hear the voice there because I turned the volume down so you can hear me talk. Let me see if I can listen. That'll work. And, and then this is your different weapons. Most of the weapons have been augmented with new attacks and different things. And this is what you'll be starting with. You got your knives, you got your spear, you got your gauntlets, you got your chain and sickle. One of the weapons I loved using in the first game. It's a great game to play. The bow, you got the club, the naginata, which is again another fun weapon. The rifle, which I used really heavily in the first game, or Tokuden Kiwami. The new one is the sword and shield. There is a sword inside the shield, and of course the chain whip, which I absolutely love. It's like, that is so much fun to play as. It's got so many different attacks. I love it. And we're going to change the name of my Slayer. Actually, I need to change his hair up just a hair. He should have more reddish style hair. Not red, but you know what I mean. About. Let me get back into this orange kind of thing, and then drop the color density a little bit. I'm trying to make a certain character. Yeah, I like that color will work, and I'll have to change, of course, his beard color out and to reflect that and get that closer to the color. There we go. That'll work. And I also had to change his eyebrow color too to reflect that too. So we'll do that real quick. That's fine. It's close enough. It's a little darker, but that's okay. And this is going to be my character, and I'm going to name. No, not yet. I'm going to name my character after my favorite original Monster Slayer, Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series. And since I'm using a whip, that makes sense. And that's who I'm going to play as. Well, I can't name him Belmont, so that doesn't really work. I guess I can just not put a space between his name. That's fine. Or I could put S. Belmont, or I could just call him Belmont. I guess would be fine. Yeah, we'll just call him Belmont. That'll work. And I know who we're talking about here. And that will work. And now I can play the game. But anyway, I just wanted to show you a little Creative Player Tokuden 2. But you see, this is my point about these $60 games, though. Like, I've never ever bought anything from Software, or Omega Force, or it seems like these Asian-based companies that put out these amazing games, or even European companies, CD Projekt Red with Witcher 3. Regardless of the DLC, that is a complete fucking package game at $60 damn, right? But you start buying shit from EA and all these people that all they're concerned about is getting your money. Activision, EA, Ubisoft, the three biggest publishing companies right now, all they care about getting is your money. We want your money. We're gonna put out this bare bones $60 title. We're gonna give you just enough gameplay, and then down the road we're gonna put this giant 30 gig, 40 gig update out. And now you can play the game how it was supposed to be. Like Division, for example, I played extensively, and the end game was horrible. Actually, the game was pretty awesome up until about level 15 or 16 when you started noticing the drop-off on loot, and loot was just kind of like slightly incrementally better. But the early hours of that game is excellent. Just like Destiny's early hours are excellent. But it just starts to taper off after a while. But if you buy all this other stuff or wait for these giant updates, that we're going to get, now you get the complete game. Thanks. And if you want some of this other stuff, you got to pay for it on top of everything else. Oh, thanks a lot. $60 incomplete game. That, my friends, is bullshit. And that wears me out. And yet, we as gamers accept that. We never we might do YouTube videos about it like I'm doing and other things like that, but we never push back against those companies and say, stop, putting this out. I know a really good thing we can just do. Don't fucking buy their games. Like, you know what? Don't buy them. I mean, you can watch reviews of Wildlands right now, and people are saying it's a rental at best, right? People are playing it, yes, online, yes, but it's so repetitive. It's just repetitive, and the Division is practically dead. Most of these games that come out, they're like talking about celebrating the year one of this and the year one of that. Like, no, that's garbage, right? Destiny was completely 100% bare bones when it came out. Capcom, Street Fighter V, bare fucking minimal effort because they were going to try to give us these, 10, 15, 25 gig updates later, right? But other companies don't have that approach, and it makes you wonder. Yeah, they're in it for the money. They're in it to get everything they can out of you because they are the ones that decided we can't make a game unless it's fucking $120 fucking million. That's garbage. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. It shouldn't cost you that much. It just shouldn't. Right? Well, anyway, let me have a little bit of drink, a little sip. Sorry that it hit my microphone. Anyway, I am the Juice Man. This has been episode 23, $60 incomplete. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of the creative player, what I'm doing with this game. Just want to let you know, tune in next time for episode 24. Remember, I am the man telling you, the one that tells you the way it is. And as always, gamers, good gaming.